right, let's get right into it. We've all seen the absolute explosion of generative AI. The hype is literally everywhere. But now that marketers are actually using these tools, we're starting to see some pretty serious challenges. So today, we're going to talk about the hidden costs of using AI without a real strategy, and more importantly, how to fix it. The source material for this explainer just nails the problem with this one quote. So much of the AI content out there feels exactly like this, right? It's quick, it's cheap, it fills a space, but there's no real substance. It leaves zero lasting impression. And that is the exact opposite of what great marketing should be doing. So what are we actually talking about here? The source calls it unrefined AI slop. It's content that looks pretty good at first glance, but when you really look at it, there's just nothing there. It's totally generic, it doesn't have a unique point of view, and it for sure doesn't sound like your brand. The biggest risk here is that your company's voice just gets completely lost in this giant sea of sameness. And look, the damage goes way beyond just a few missed clicks or some low engagement numbers. Churning out this kind of low-quality stuff has real, tangible costs. So let's break down the three big ones. First up is a problem that the source calls resource dilution. What happens here is this crazy domino effect. Instead of your expert marketers focusing on, high-level strategy, they get totally bogged down editing and rewriting these mediocre AI drafts. And with budgets and teams getting smaller, every single hour spent fixing bad content is an hour stolen from the work that actually moves the needle. Okay, the second cost, it hits a little closer to home. It's a credibility gap and erodes trust inside your own company. Just think about it from your CEO's perspective for a second. When they or your top experts are asked to review content that reads like a generic Wikipedia summary, their confidence in the marketing team just plummets. They start wondering, can our marketing team even deliver unique insights anymore? And once that trust is gone, wow, it is so incredibly hard to earn back. And finally, the third hidden cost is something called diagnostic friction. And this one is huge. When a campaign doesn't perform well, you have to know why, right? But if the content itself is just forgettable, you've basically introduced this massive, unmeasurable variable. So what went wrong? Was it the audience, the channel, or was the creative just boring? When you have high-quality, human-led content, it takes that variable off the table so you can get clear data and make much smarter decisions. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a bit grim. But what's the solution? Thankfully, the source lays out a really clear three-pillar framework for using AI the right way, without sacrificing what makes your brand, your brand. So for pillar number 1, the goal is pretty simple. You have to differentiate through information gain. Your content must offer something new, something your audience can't just get anywhere else. And here's the crucial point. That value does not come from the AI. It comes from your data, from interviews with your experts, and from your unique perspective on the world. The AI is the tool you use to polish the final draft. It should never, ever be the source of the insight itself. That brings us to our second pillar, and honestly, this one is non-negotiable. You absolutely must establish human-in-the-loop standards. And this slide right here shows you exactly why. AI models are known to hallucinate, or to put it simply, they just make stuff up. Research shows this happens as much as 48% of the time. That means you absolutely have to have a human expert fact-checking the output and making sure it aligns with your brand. Our third and final pillar is all about prioritizing something that AI just can't replicate. And that is an authentic voice and all those subtle nuances. Sure, an AI can mimic a general tone, but it often completely misses the specific industry jargon, the unique sentence structures, and that expert perspective that signals to a reader, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. A human editor is essential to make sure your content feels like a thought partner, not a robot. So at the end of the day, where does all this leave us? The source sums it up with this really powerful metaphor. AI should be the engine, but a human must always be the pilot. And this really captures the strategic shift we're all living through. The old game was all about speed and volume. Who could publish the most content the fastest? But the new reality? It's all about value. The brands that are going to win are the ones that actually say something worth listening to. So as we wrap up this explainer, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. In your organization, is your AI the engine or is it the pilot? Because the answer to that question is going to define your success in this new era.